This is a crazy video coming out of Long Island, New York. In it, a car gets rear-ended, and you can see the damage. It is just devastating damage to the vehicle. Unfortunately, it wouldn't end there. Inside the beat-up car, a man by the name of Kevin Kavoris. But he wasn't alone. His two sons were in the Mitsubishi with him. Citizens rushed to their aid. Video footage cuts away and shows a truck that rear-ended the Mitsubishi. And look, take a wild guess the occupation of the man driving it. His name is David Mascarella. He is a public servant holding the title of police officer. This story that we're about to tell you is one that is all too familiar, albeit too frustrating, of how members of law enforcement are reckless, are entitled, how they view themselves to be above the law, and how they cover for one another at every turn if they wronged someone. In this video, Officer Mascarella does not appear to go back to the scene. A damning report suggests Long Island cops may have covered up drunk driving by one of their own after the off-duty cop crashed into a car carrying a man and his two kids. One of the children was left with injuries that he's still recovering from 2 years later. The officer, David Mascarella, was never charged, wrote Reason.com. So you're telling me this happened 2 years ago, and we are just seeing the video? Odd. The crash took place in August 2020 when a Ram truck driven by Mascarella rear-ended the Mitsubishi driven by Kevin Kavoris. Mascarella, who was reportedly driving at a speed of more than 50 miles an hour, crashed into the car as Kavoris slowed down to make a turn. A witness reported to police that Mascarella had driven erratically for approximately a mile and a half before the collision, according to Newsday. The police accident report and crime scene diagram reflected no evidence that he braked before the pickup slammed into the Mitsubishi. Reporting from Newsday noted Mascarella, a Suffolk County police officer, was off duty at the time of the crash. He was allowed and enabled by his fellow officers to forego an alcohol test, according to an extensive investigation from Newsday. Because officers broke protocol and failed to administer a test, the Suffolk County District DA's office was unable to pursue vehicular assault charges against Mascarella. The officers involved also failed to notify the Suffolk County DA's office that Mascarella had refused to take a breathalyzer, which prevented the DA from deciding to seek a warrant for a blood test, which could have verified if he was drunk during the accident. No action has been taken against this officer for what he has done. Meanwhile, Kavoris' two sons, Bastian and Reardon, were in car seats in the back seat. The crash fractured the skull of Reardon, then two, while leaving his then 4-year-old brother with bruises all over his body and his dad with a broken nose. Reardon still wears a leg brace to walk and cannot run or jump, per the family.